welcome back to Your Hour. Joining us now is Jamie Whitfield with Recovery Matters. You can go on to her YouTube channel, and you can look at a lot of her segments from Your Hour, and like and subscribe and all that because they're very interesting. So, what do you want to talk to us about today?
Well, I was going to talk about the importance of basically just embracing change in our lives.
And we don't do that very
No,
often.
no. And I'm trying my best because I'm encountering a lot of rapid changes just in my life, at my other job. And so I'm kind of having a difficult time embracing it. And so I thought, what better topic to talk about than something that I'm literally trying to process and go through today clean.
Yeah,
And
you can talk. You can have Clarice and Frida join
right,
us.
and we are just going to have this staff meeting together.
There you go.
So, basically, the importance of change is being able to not stay stuck. I sometimes I don't mind staying stuck because it's
exactly.
comfortable, but then we are never going to be able to learn and grow if we stay unchangeable, and that's just like staying, having your mindset to not be teachable.
Right.
You'll never learn anything and be able to grow into a different, better person if you're not able to embrace that. And right along with change is acceptance.
Yeah.
Because even when things change, we have to accept what's changing. Because no matter what, it's going to change.
Oh, yeah.
And if we decide to stay stuck or move forward with the changing that's going on in our lives, that's our choice at the end of the day. And so, a lot of things that hinder that change is fear of the unknown. That's unknown territory for people to embrace that change that's about to happen. And not all bad things happen when things change.
Right.
And I'm coming to terms, and by all means today I am talking to myself when I am given this message of how to embrace change and in recovery or even with individuals that are not in recovery. I know for me, last night after I got off work, I had to have a conversation with my sponsor because a lot of these changes in my life right now are happening so rapidly that I'm having a hard time.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah.
And so I was a little scared for my own recovery without, not talking about it. Because that's the number one thing of how to embrace change and being able to go through that process is talking about it. Talk about your thoughts that are going through your head. It's okay to feel
Yeah.
the way you're feeling, and talk about what you're worried about if this does change and how this looks like for you. And it did make me feel a lot better yesterday doing that. I knew I needed it. So right when I got off work, I did that. I stayed up 2 extra hours to talk to her to process what I'm going through right now. Because I had a feeling that if I didn't, I was going to be in some trouble later.
Yeah.
And so, it's just one of them things that the beauty of being in recovery and working a program is being able to see what's going on and get that out, because I don't want to lead into, a downward spiral of trouble because I've held this in because I felt like it was silly or something to talk about what's going on. And so I truly embraced what I was given, and that's a voice to be able to voice how I feel and be able to process things with all these changes that are going on.
One of the things that is unique to you, I think, is the fact that you are able to recognize
Yes.
things when something is off, or when something is a little bit out of the ordinary. You recognize how that affects you,
Yes.
and you stay on top of it
Yes.
because you don't want to compromise your
Yeah,
recovery.
and I can't afford to, and that's the beauty of recovery, and when you are in tune with yourself, and you know what it looks like, and you have the tools to be able to identify triggers or things that can cause you to go left instead of right. And I did, yesterday was very emotional because there's a lot of changes, like I said, going on at my job. And so it's just, and I'm not talking about just one thing. There's an abundance of things coming my way, and I'm just like, I broke down. And so I told myself before I, go to bed tonight, I have got to I process this, because I cannot continue to take that on and not process it. And I was scared. And still, I am a little bit scared. I still need to process some things and move forward. And a lot of it has to do with just acceptance too.
Yeah.
With the changes, I can't control what's about to happen. All I can do is accept it and move forward. And so that's just kind of
And
my
hope for
message.
the best.
Yes, yes.
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Right. And that's, life, and regardless, life is going to keep moving and changing no matter what I say.
And we want it to, really.
Right. And so I had a couple points though too to how to embrace the change is you just be willing to adapt to it. You just have to have that willingness too. And don't let that fear stop you, from going forward. And accepting change is very vital. It is.
Yeah.
The more and more I got to thinking about it after I talked to my sponsor, and she had some valid points that I did write down as well. And she said, working on your self-esteem, it will allow you to actually encourage what can come your way and
Yeah.
changes that come your way, that you can feel a little bit more confident when you're going
Right.
through the process of
Right.
change. And I thought, you know what? I'm so glad I called you. And she also said what I said before, express your thoughts and your worries about changes. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's exactly what I did when I picked up the phone with her,
Yeah.
was expressing how I felt. And, once you are open to change, it opens different doors to new opportunities.
Well, and sometimes voicing your fears or voicing your concerns allows you to put them in perspective.
Yes.
If it's just kind of an image in your mind of all these changes coming about, that kind of takes on the dimensions of a monster. But if you talk about it and you process it and you actually voice your fears, you kind of take the wind out of their sails.
And that is true. And two, once everything started coming my way about all these changes that are going to be made, I started kind of getting tunnel vision. Like I could only see just a little narrow, vision of what this was going to look like. And being able to talk about it and stuff, it opened up my eyes a little bit wider. So now I'm able to see different angles of what's about to take place. And it's not all bad. Sometimes I think it's your perspective. It is what you make it, what you're going to make it.
There you go. Yeah,
So,
that's exactly
when
right.
it's all said and done.
It's
So-
your attitude.
Yes, it is. And so I just said, let's move forward with an open mind.
There you go. Jamie, it's always such a pleasure having you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
John Ellert from Gallery Friends.